Larry Bache with the Northern Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Northern Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
What's up, everyone? Lead meteorologist John Choquette here for our daily forecast on this Thursday here in March. Had some storms yesterday across Ohio, and it looks like this is going to be the last gasp of storm system Andria moving off the coast here right now, off the Carolina coast, and there's also some storms across portions of the Florida Peninsula. Well, we actually had a tornado warning not too long ago, and some gusty winds, and maybe a couple other tornado warnings may happen through the remainder of this afternoon. We'll go over that. And that's setting up for a pretty quiet weekend across most of the country. We're basically going to be resetting the atmosphere to go into what will likely end up being Storm System Brandon next week. We're going to check in on that as well. As always, thanks to our sponsors, C3 Group, America Contractor Show, and Merlin Law Group. They're in the description below, and you'll see some of those ads coming up here as well. So upcoming events, we only got one thing going on in the very near term. On March 29th, the Orca Mini Roundup. We've been talking about this for a while. If you're here in Oklahoma City, you can come check us out. It is a free event with free lunch, and you can find out what Orca has to offer. So come check us out there. Excuse me. And that's it for our events. We're getting into storm season now, so we're not going to be traveling as much, seeing folks as much as we usually do. So we have a couple things coming up later on. So this is what we had for storm reports yesterday. Had a bunch of wind reports, I think a couple tornadoes possibly, a fair bit of hail, but the majority of this was actually sub-severe. We did have up to some, I think, one rogue golf ball report in sections of West Virginia, pretty close to Charleston, but that was really about it. Again, some hail here across sections of Ohio. Today, I'm not really looking at too much hail. If we look at current conditions right now, zooming in here to Florida, where we had previously had a tornado warning not too long ago, just south of Daytona Beach. That has since moved off the coast. Notice we have a couple other storms trying to form up here off to the west of I-95 in Florida. This may go severe through this afternoon. There's also another line of storms. This is actually the cold front about to cross over into Tampa. That could bring some severe weather across this afternoon. And you notice as we zoom out here, you can tell pretty clearly where Storm Andria is a center is located. It is pretty chilly across the majority of the Central Plains and into the Great Lakes region, and it's chilly here all the way down to Texas. Only 58 degrees in Dallas as of 12 p.m. at the end of March. That's below average, and it's only 63 in Atlanta as well. You notice everything's pushing off the coast. There is a chance we could see some other storms form here in eastern sections of North Carolina, but that's really about it. It's a pretty quiet day across a lot of the country. That severe risk, again, is limited pretty much along and east of I-95 south of Virginia. So this is a future radar. We're starting off in North Carolina and Virginia. Got a couple storms possible to form this afternoon. Again, it is about 1 o'clock in the Raleigh area. In the next hour or so, we could see a couple storms possibly form. Gusty winds and maybe an isolated tornado threat is your only real chance for anything today. Not too much in the way of hail. We're going to see by 4 o'clock some storms expanding up into Virginia as well, and this will all move generally off to the north and to the east, and by dinner time we're really going to be winding down pretty quick here across the majority of this small risk area in the East Coast. And down to the south, we already mentioned we had some storms. One tornado warning already in Florida. There could be a couple more through the afternoon with any storms that form that we had already just seen near I-95, and that will push off the coast this afternoon, and along with some other storms that could possibly form here on the west coast of the Florida Peninsula. But overall, again, probably a pretty early evening for things to wind down by about 10 o'clock. There's going to be no severe weather at all. So a pretty quiet severe weather day across the country, and that brings it so we have nothing for a hail forecast. Sponsored by C3 Group. Unfortunately, guys, your sponsorship is going to be quiet today. We could see some severe weather coming up here into the next week. There is a chance for some wind, though. We got two different areas that I highlighted. Wind gusts 60 to 65 mile an hour is going to be your maximum, and a low chance for tornadoes from Virginia Beach to Raleigh to Richmond. You could see any of those isolated storms have gusty winds or maybe an isolated tornado threat. And then down here in Florida, the Orlando area to Daytona Beach, same basic idea. And that risk is right now through the next couple of hours. So with talking about today, everything pushes off the coast, so we're going to see nothing tomorrow as well. It's going to start a pretty quiet, nice weekend across the lower 48. Sunny skies will dominate the majority of the nation, but that is going to change here as we look ahead in the future. Jetstream, sponsored by American Contractor, our look ahead forecast. So this is right now. We're going to push ahead to this weekend, and everything kind of resets, right? So by the time we get to about 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday, we're going to have a storm system right near San Francisco, and that's going to set the stage for more severe weather going into this last few days of March. We push ahead to, I got stopped this at 6 p.m. on Tuesday. This may end up being Storm System Brandon. We have it setting up pretty much right in the Four Corners region of the U.S., which is for severe weather in the southern plains, the ideal location for a low pressure center to be located. Notice you get that ridge here in the central plains and into the southeast. That's going to allow moisture return to possibly have some severe weather set up from Oklahoma and Texas, possibly even into Kansas. We'll see how this sets up. Again, today is Thursday. We're looking at something on Tuesday. There hasn't been a ton of model agreement between the American and the European model on this, but it is indicating that something may happen next week. We push ahead to about Wednesday, and all of that will shift into the southeast. And if this setup were to happen, we would probably have a widespread severe weather risk, possibly getting all the way up into Illinois for your Wednesday. Again, this is likely to change a bit. And then by the time we get to 6 p.m. on Thursday, notice my low actually slowed down a little bit. This all shifts into the northeast. So this could be another significant severe weather event. And notice way off to the west, I know I'm at the end of my run here to start off April up into the Pacific, back behind our logo. That will be the next storm system to come in. So we kind of have one after the other here. You get one, it moves across the country over a few days. We have a break while everything kind of resets, and then the next system kind of comes in. So a pretty progressive pattern here, guys. We are now getting into April where a lot more severe weather is expected. So follow us on our social media platforms. Shout out to our TikTok. It really took off. So we will be able to go live on TikTok here coming up once ideally we're trying to figure out how we can get this stream that we have on our Facebook and our YouTube and on our Twitter also onto the talk. So that'll be coming soon here. Follow us on at Hail Trace, all the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, like we mentioned. We're on LinkedIn as well. We post content daily on various different content on all of our platforms, so don't miss out on that. You can visit our website as well for more details. Give us a call, 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns you may have, get yourself set up to succeed here in spring, and visit our emails, info@hailtrace.com. I'm going to wrap this up because I got a little tickle in my throat. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. like we do every single day.